Start our recording. All right, welcome to the July 29th meeting of the MLP board. And well, it's just the MLP board. I'm going to take out the wording of Broadband Committee. There we go. I am Gail Huntress, MLP manager facilitating the meeting. This meeting is fully remote. Participating remotely, we have MLP board members Jim Hemingway, Andy Regan, and Steve Schmidt. First order of business is to approve the meeting minutes as submitted and amended by Jim from July 1st. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Andy, do you have breath to say aye or nay?
Aye.
Thank you. Steve
Aye.
and Jim.
Aye.
Great. Thank you. Let's see. Why don't we start with talking about the hybrid meeting policy that I sent around earlier. I realized that not all of you may have had a chance to read because I only sent it around a couple hours ago. And there's still time to submit comments to it, but I wanted to have a group discussion and kind of as a cohesive reply to Brennan, the admin assistant of what we think of it. I didn't see anything problematic in it, except for the fact that the state may eradicate remote meetings next summer.
Yeah. I
Gail, I added an addendum to your comments about that.
I saw that, yes.
Oh, you did see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Jim and Gail, both of you, I thought made excellent comments. Jim, the excellent point about hey, what are we doing here? What's the whole point of our
That's the point, yeah.
And Gail, yeah, that it makes it this new policy would make it more difficult for people to participate. And I'm just thinking that, every time I'm reelected or reappointed to a committee, I get this letter from our the legislators thanking me for volunteering and how important volunteering is. Well, yes, so don't make it more difficult for people to volunteer. Try and make it easier. Try and support volunteers in doing their job. We're not paid to travel to a meeting, we're not paid to participate. So try and do what you can from the state standpoint to facilitate this, to make it easier for volunteer boards. And I just see this as something that comes out of a bureaucrat in Boston sitting at a desk there who comes up with a plan and doesn't have a clue about rural communities in general, how far it is from where somebody lives to a meeting place, and the difficulties of getting a group of people together in a small rural community.
Right. Or lots of snow and roads that may not be plowed in the winter, right? Like there's many nights when if it was if it was in person, we would have had chaos of, are we meeting tonight? What's the weather going to do? And then canceling it and then having to reschedule. It's a huge burden. So I'm going to add that good comment, Steve, as well as kind of like as we face more and more difficulty getting volunteers and civic engagement within our town. Don't add another barrier to it that, and I think that the remote meeting statistics speak for themselves in that, we've had so much more engagement with people showing up to online meetings because you can be there without completely being there and, dedicating 2 hours. You can put the meeting on in the background or you cook dinner and, kind of listen for the issue you care about, jump in to say something. Yeah. So, I will make some more comments about that. Anything else? Jim, anything about the requirements that you saw regarding minutes that we're already doing all this stuff for that they recommend. Except one thing I noticed we're not doing is putting in document references. It's not that we have to put the document in the minutes. We just have to put a reference to that document.
Mhm.
But anything else you
We
noticed
could,
that was
well, no, I thought it was fine. Although the document reference, I guess, we'll have to do a little bit better on that, perhaps, if that's necessary. We don't usually put up that. Well, you've often, in your edits of my note-taking, you have often put those documents, splice those documents into the meeting minutes. So in a way, we have been dealing with it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have 100% compliance on that.
Yeah.
Especially when I do things like flash our budget on the
Mhm.
screen. But that's easy enough to
Mhm.
put a reference in.
Yeah.
But somebody who's attending an in-person meeting when, a budget's projected onto the wall, they've not got anything they're taking away from that either. So
Mhm.
um, I think the online meeting has the potential for for better informing both the participants and anybody that wants to look up the meeting afterwards.
Yeah, I think the requirement to put a reference to the documents that are shown is more for the public records law, so that if you're looking at the meeting, you know exactly what to ask for. Of, okay, for the July 9th meeting, the broadband showed their fiscal year 27 budget. That's what I want to see. So, yeah, I think it's the correct thing to do is that, yeah, we should be putting references, if not the whole document itself, into our minutes. And it's not going to be a big lift for us to just add that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that we should add to that for the select board?
Well, hold on just a minute. Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Um, let's see. We'll give Andy a chance to get home for the hut report, so we'll come back to that. Maintenance and service. We had 19 tickets so far this month. Although we're not out of the month, but that is typical. Everything looks fine there. Good news. I finally got a pole license. It only took 9 months and about a dozen emails to get that license for the West Pelham Road cabinet splitter. Remember that? We started it way back in November of last year. And so yeah, just utilities up to their old tricks of finger pointing. It's in Verizon's hands. We don't know what's going on with it. Then contacting Verizon and then having them uh you know say, well, you didn't send us a new insurance document, for example. Well, y'all didn't ask for it. So anyway, we have it. I've let Sheld know. It is going to take a bit of a bite out of our budget. The estimate was about 15,000 as of last year. So uh, I assume it's not going to be any more. But I've asked them. Our labor is the same, but materials, it is possible that they have gone up slightly. Um, but anyway, that will be happening before the snow flies.
You know, Gail, I think that could potentially come out of our stabilization fund.
You said the cost was 15,000?
Yep, that's the estimate. You mean use it, the depreciation fund for the routers? Yeah. Is anybody clear on the usage of those um funds? It does completely fall into network upgrades.
Yeah.
Um, and that's kind of that's how we, upgrade equipment is how we worded it on the town warrant. Um, so that
Is
I
that
think that, yeah.
is that to replace old equipment or is that a new splitter?
It's a new splitter. We actually ran out of ports on because of new construction on West Pelham. And so
Okay.
if we get one new house or one of the ports goes down, we have no way to serve. So that's
Okay.
why it's not like an emergency, but that worries me when we run out of connections. So we really need something there.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's those two new houses right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, those new
Yeah.
houses took the last of the ports, and although during construction, Andy, we did um appropriately leave a 20% growth kind of rate and built that in. We didn't allocate it quite correctly for the areas of town. Like, for
Yeah, yeah.
example, we have lots of growth area in the Lake Wyola area because there's nothing new, right? We accounted for every house. There's no new houses, and um, but other areas of town, it's like it's kind of a distribution in our design issue. It's not a huge deal, and it's great news because it means that we are, we've picked up way more customers than we thought we would, and the we have good capacity at pretty much everywhere else in town, based on the land area available and, about two new houses a year in Shutesbury, if that. We're gonna do fine, but not on that road.
Okay, cool. Makes sense.
So here's what I'm gonna do regarding the depreciation fund is that um I'm gonna ask I think Gail Weiss about the restrictions on that. Um because I don't know if that 260,000 that we voted on at town meeting just kind of like dumps into our general fund and it's available for us in any way, or at the end of the year we have to show that we used it for something very specific. So I'll make a note of that. Okay. Financially, report is, we've obviously started fiscal year 2027. I'm still waiting on the end of the year wrap up from Gail Weiss, so I don't have a retained earnings match up from her, but I still am expecting around 27,000 for that. Um, let's see. We got our annual report into the town almost a full month early. Thank you, Jim, and everyone who commented on that. Um, and the Sandhill Road section. Steve, do you want to talk any more about it, or do we just let this one go as utility shenanigans?
Yeah, it just what they're requesting just absolutely makes no
Yeah.
sense. That stretch of Sand Hill Road, the poles are all in good shape. There's plenty of poles in the area, and I'm sure throughout the town that are in far worse shape than that. They're not marked the way poles typically are when they're going to replace them. They typically have a white downward pointing arrow near the base of the pole. None of these are marked that way. The poles are spaced a typical distance apart. They're talking for putting all these mid-span poles halfway between. So I can't see what they're doing this for. And Gail, you said that this was there was a this is based on the DigSafe request. I've walked that area fairly regularly. There's no DigSafe markings in the road in that area. So,
Yeah, let me clarify.
oh,
So whenever anyone does an excavation project, you always call in a dig safe, right? And when any of those come into Shutesbury, they also come to me because we're a public utility.
mhm,
And so I take the dig safe request and I compare it to our list of homes, and I have just a huge spreadsheet of who has underground. And if
mhm.
there's a dig safe for a house that has an underground installation, I have us mark it out. And if not, I let it go. This one I didn't do anything with. Like we didn't we're not going to mark it out. There's no reason to. We don't have any underground in this area.
Hmm. Ish. Huh. I had in mind that the first house, I don't know the street number, on Sand Hill Road has underground.
Oh, it
Actually, this comes to mind because the last time I walked it, I was looking pretty carefully at the poles
hmm
and the lines. And I was interested because I don't think the house originally would have had underground, but people put a big addition on and renovated, and I thought, okay, they must have put an underground service in when they did that. So,
Yeah, so generally if an offshoot home has an underground, but it's utility pole work that's submitted by like a National Grid or Verizon, I don't bother to do a dig safe because they see it on the pole. They see it going underground, and it's there's just no reason. Like if the house called for the dig safe and they're like, "Oh, we're installing a new septic, we're installing a new driveway." I'd
okay.
have it done, but it's because it's at
Yeah,
the pole, I don't do it.
yeah,
It
because
just,
obviously
yeah.
if our lines are underground, so are the electric
So are
and,
theirs.
and
Yeah.
telephone lines, and they're okay, I see your point.
Yeah. Yeah. And also they're utility workers. And you know what I mean? Like they're gonna, because they work around poles all the time, they're not gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna like put a backhoe down without looking, which is why DigSafe exists for residential and commercial
Mm.
properties.
We're not going to drop an auger in next to this conduit that's going
Right.
underground. Yeah,
Right.
okay,
They
yeah,
know what they're doing.
yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. And as I mentioned to you, that they're calling for like 10 new poles in this short stretch of
hmm
road. They would need pole permits
Which they have not
for
done.
that. Yeah.
Which they have not done. And this was like a month ago, and they've run the clock down that
Mm.
they would have had to do the work within 30 days of submitting that dig safe request. No poll hearing. So yeah, I think we just chalk this up as a utility administration mistake
Mhm.
and keep an eye on it. If they send another one, then I think maybe we should dig into it.
So
And
to
or
speak.
ha
No,
ha
no pun
or
intended.
alert the select board of, do you
Yeah.
all know what's going on?
Yeah.
But
Okay. Well, I'll keep a watch. I walk that road fairly regularly, so um,
This is Sand Hill Road, right?
yeah,
yeah.
Sandhill.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. In other news, after much investigation and looking at all of the options, we have concluded that 30 Macedonia Road is a no-go.
Mm,
We just can't do it. The customer does not qualify for Lifeline. We can't install the wood through the woods because there's too many rocks and roots. Attaching to trees is a maintenance nightmare, and we can't go down the road because the homeowner does not own the road, and also it's more like Shell took a look at it. It's cobbled, it's rocky hardpack. Um, and they gave us an estimate that would be on the low end, if they don't hit a lot of rocks and roots, which they will, is $30,000. At the high end, closer to 50. So, anyway, suggested to the homeowner that they look into satellite providers like Starlink, but yeah, we just really can't serve them because of their lack of utility there. I don't think it was wasted work because we have a full answer now. And if anyone buys that home in the future, we have records of all the options that we've explored.
I mean, this is a recent discussion we've been having, but we were talking about this property probably over 10 years ago. And
Yep.
we've always known this was a problem.
Yeah.
Providing service there would be a problem.
Yeah, and I would say we've definitely looked at every single option now, and it's just not feasible. Let's see, what else do we have here? Andy, are you in a place where you can chat? Or are you still writing or putting on dry clothes?
I actually just rolled home.
Okay.
So just from the end of the driveway, maybe not service
Okay.
on the new router. So
All right, well, I'll keep talking a couple minutes. Just give us a heads up when you're kind of like
yeah,
situated inside. Um, so
sounds good.
let's see. Um, so Steve alluded to my big trip. I'm going to be out of the country from August 12th to August 22nd. And so there's two things that I'd like to put in place for that. One is somebody to field the dig safes that I mentioned. There's usually this time of year, maybe two a week that come in. And the task with that is to receive the email, look at the address on the email, and then compare the address to a spreadsheet and see if it's aerial or underground, it's just clearly marked. And then if it is an underground household, then sending a template email to Sheld just saying, underground install, please send out a dig safe. And then the second thing is being somebody on call. I don't anticipate any problems, but if somebody from Sheld needs to reach somebody from the board for whatever reason, is there any of you that would feel comfortable receiving that phone call? And it wouldn't mean that you'd have to make the call on your own, but it would mean that you'd have to reach out to the other board members and kind of decide on something. Again, I don't think that there has ever been no, that's not true. There's been in the winter some issues with big storms, where I've had to make some calls about, do we stop, sending trucks out or do you want them to go out and we just pay for overtime, to get things fixed. So anyway, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I'll send an email around. And if by the end of the meeting, if anyone's like, okay, yeah, I think I could do that. That would be great. The other option is that I can just tell Sheld I'm not available and you will need to just make your best, we'll trust them to make the best decisions on the anything that needs to happen, to take care of our network.
I would say that I probably know the least in terms of being a point person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel totally qualified, but for that, I think I could definitely do it. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for offering. Yeah, would I if I could give them your name, and if it's something that you don't feel like you can handle or don't have enough information, I think this is a place where you could reach out to any of the members or even call up Graham and
Okay.
say, I need advice. We have a problem.
So I can be the first point of contact, but yeah,
Yeah.
maybe fan out if it's not simple. Or yeah, I don't know.
All right. Thank you, Andy. So
And
I will send you the, just send again everyone's contact information. And I will send again the people from Sheld, the 24-hour numbers. And I'll send Andy and I'll copy in Jim and Steve as well.
Yeah,
and
could-
Gail, I could handle the dig safe.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve.
that would be great.
Do you have a spreadsheet with all that data that you
Hmm.
send me?
Yeah.
I still have the construction uh document on my laptop. I don't know how so I can still look at things and see whether something's underground, but if you've got it on a spreadsheet, that would be good to have.
Yeah, generally my rule of thumb is like I said, if it's a dig safe request for just something with a pole, I don't bother.
Yeah,
It's utility people, they know what they're doing. And then it's just comparing the dig safe address to the spreadsheet, and it's just a simple yes, no.
yeah.
Yes, there's underground service there, or no, there's not. We don't do it if there's aerial.
Hmm.
So it takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
And on the overall contact, Andy, thank you for agreeing to be like, the lead point person. I kind of didn't want to be in that position, but I'm glad to offer my advice on things. Um,
Great.
and Gail, if you're sending that around, use my Gmail, not my Crocker email.
mhm. Yeah, I pretty much use your Gmail all the time now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crocker actually email is being discontinued, so I got
Okay.
and
That makes sense.
I've been using that email since dial-up days.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, so that was my initial involvement with Crocker was they were my dial-up
Hmm.
ISP provider and they included email. So a lot of people and businesses have that email. Now they've got quite a job of notifying people of the Gmail. So and my cell phone, give people both the landline and the cell phone. I
Yep.
don't typically have my cell phone on, but the cell phone I can text with and can receive a text with. Um, so
Here's Andy signing in on another device.
I'll do good not to create an echo. I think I've done okay.
There you are. Hi.
Hi.
Um, well, great. I will send all that around. Other news. Did you all get the maintenance notification
oh,
today? The planned
two,
maintenance?
two
Yeah.
of them. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, there was one the other night,
Hmm.
which I actually got knocked off line because, midnight, that's when I'm up there surfing the
Yeah,
web.
you stay up late, as I recall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Tuesday night, right?
Yeah.
Like
Was
what
it,
early Wednesday morning, like midnight.
Shortly after midnight, Wednesday morning. Yeah.
was
Yeah.
there another one?
No,
Oh, was it?
I guess
yeah,
there was
so
just,
there was a planned maintenance for
It was actually Monday
tonight.
night, Tuesday morning, I think. But anyway, that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Um for, for tonight, but I got reports that we had another issue on Tuesday. How do I say it? Tuesday morning, like at 12:01 or whatever. And so I called Shell today to ask what's up with that. I knew the maintenance was happening this week, but again, we got the notification for now, tonight, not the one on Tuesday morning. So I'm still looking into that of what happened there. Was it planned or unplanned? Let's see. Andy, do you want to do the hot report?
Sure. I don't know if there's a format, but yeah, the unit was installed. The new, and I'm totally blanking on what they're called, but new condenser.
Yeah.
What are they?
We call them like just the
Mini
heat pump
mini
or HVAC or
mini split
yeah,
was what I was trying
yeah,
to say.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the new mini split was installed on the north side.
Good,
And
good.
it's the Mitsubishi unit, which he said was the Porsche of mini splits. So he said it's a good one. He's like, this is the best one you can get. And so yeah, it took him only a couple hours. They were pretty quick. They were really efficient. Like they seemed very knowledgeable. I kind of watched him do it. I was in and out. And
Great.
yeah, so it's up and running. There were mice in the top
Oh,
of the left one. They hadn't made it into the hut, but they were like
okay.
they were up there, so they were on their way in. So got them out of there, and confirmed they're not in the right unit, the south unit. The south unit had them in to actually get into the unit previously.
Yes.
So everything was clear inside. New units installed. I moved that unit to be the primary one. And it's been running since. I haven't gotten any alerts since. I haven't gone back since. I was planning to go back on the first of the month, so I was going to go back for the beginning of August. I just logged into the Sense electricity monitoring, and it's going to take a look at. We can maybe share my screen.
Sure, hold on. Let me allow this.
Okay, yeah.
Give me just a minute. Zoom
Sure.
has changed there. There it is. Okay, all yours.
Okay, we can look at what it's doing here. So this is the sense.com. And so this is the current month. So it's been running all month. I think it was turned on. When exactly did they do the install? I can check.
Let's
I took
see.
some pictures of it. And
Was on the 13th? No, it was later that week.
it was on July 11th.
Oh. Oh, that's right. That's Saturday.
Yep, it was on July 11th. I have let me see if I can I have a video of him like catching the mice. Oh, I gotta turn the blur off.
Andy, that was,
Like he's like he's like caught him by the tail and tossed him in the woods.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, I could not do that job. Wait, he's catching with a
so
pair of pliers?
yeah, he's catching him by the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he got him. There were two of them in there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of entertaining. But yeah. So they did that. Um, yeah, everything else was good. Says the 11th. So I just wanted to get the date to see where the usage was. So it looks like the 11th was,
Andy, that looks like that's June that you've got
oh,
up.
yep, we're on the wrong month here. So the 11th was here. And yeah, so it looks like usage was up a little bit, but it doesn't get quite as high. It looks like it goes to like 8 kilowatt hours. And here it was going quite a bit higher. So I think this
Yeah.
is where,
That was that heat
um,
wave week.
yeah, maybe it's just super hot. I'm just trying to like see from this if we can see like a trend. I don't see any market difference at the 11th. I did put the new Mitsubishi as the primary one. So I thought maybe we would see a difference here, like a step change. Um, but it doesn't look like much to me. Yeah. Uh, so everything I think looks good.
Great.
That's all I have.
Andy, thanks for taking this on. Um, I just had one thought about the mice that, yeah, we've had a problem with mice getting in there with the old units, and it was the south unit that the mice really did a job on. And so now
Yep.
Graham went into the enclosure that the pipes run and the port into the hut where the pipes come through. And I think he stuffed
Yep.
it with steel wool as something
Yep.
that would keep the mice out. And I
That's
wonder,
also what the installation guys did. They stuffed that
oh,
hole with steel wool. They said
okay,
that's kind of the best stuff. And
okay,
yeah.
good. Well, because the previous unit was installed by a different installer, and they apparently did not do that with
Okay.
the units. So I'm glad to know that the new contractor is aware of, a simple practice like that.
And they were talking. There were two of them. They sent two guys, which was great because they're really fast. Like one of them was setting it up and it was doing everything, and the one guy was like, "Oh yeah, always keep a bunch of steel wool." And I also found some in the hut. There's some extra like in the back. So
Some steel
um,
wool. So,
yep,
Steel wool or
yeah,
yep,
I'm sure
mice?
that was Graham.
steel wool.
He left
No extra mice. We're good on
Good.
mice. Yeah. Um, Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I was just sitting there like looking at the field behind it, and it's just like this is like mouse habitat.
Perfect
I
mouse.
mean,
Yeah,
like yeah,
perfect mouse territory.
yeah, yeah. Get a few hawks or something.
Yeah.
Tell the hawk guys to come hunt down here.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe we should get a hot cat to.
that that would really be the move, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. It would, well, I don't know. There's no sunlight, there's no like it's like Schrodinger's cat experiment in the closed box. I think that's a horrible idea.
Like have it live inside the hut. Oh God,
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Is the cat alive or dead in the hut?
Yes.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. All right, this has gotten
Okay.
dark. Okay. Um, great. I have one more piece of hut news, and that is that I don't know if you all remember, but a couple months ago, um, um, uh, our fire chief looked at the town hall, and the whole security system, fire system is woefully inadequate there. And so they're looking to replace it. The work is happening. They want to tie in our hut, which I think is a great idea. Not security, just fire and smoke, um, which is going to be much more robust and secure than just the Simply Safe system that we have. So sometime over the next month or so, the installer is going to be at the town hall to do that. So Andy, I'll let you know when that's happening. If there's a miscommunication on that, and it could happen, this has happened before of like, oh no, the installer's here, they need to get in the hut. You can just, I feel comfortable that you can give like Brennan or whoever calls you the door code and then remotely disable Simply Safe and then just let them do what they need to do. Um,
Okay.
if
Yep.
either of us can't get up there, I could totally see it being one of these like they're here now, they have to do it without advance notice. I've asked for it, but it just a heads up. It could, yeah,
Sure.
it could happen.
Or I
Um,
could put it in the. I wonder if the fire department probably won't be there. I was thinking I could
no,
put
no, it's yeah.
the hot access, make sure it's in there. Like they have like a guide, like a book of
Hmm.
all the town stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good thing. I should make sure they do have a page in the book.
They
Like,
should. I gave Lenny a page 6 months ago,
oh,
maybe.
okay.
And yeah, he said so they have it. If they don't, I can send it again, but it should be in there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So they have that too. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was just thinking of
Um,
like who in town has access. I was thinking like fire makes sense.
yeah.
If Brennan, wants access as the administrator, I think that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Um, would we
Yeah.
keep the Simply Safe fire detector in there, do you think, as kind of a redundant system? Or,
Um, I think so. It doesn't it adds absolutely no cost. And it's just an extra level of security on it.
Because we have the security, and we'd have the security anyway. So
Yeah.
the fire is just on top of that. It
Hmm.
did do one false alarm, I guess, is the um okay, just thinking.
Yeah, yeah. When it did the false alarm, we replaced the sensor
So
because
okay.
it had been in there for 5 or 6 years. We're like, oh, it's faulty. So that's yeah, that's been replaced. But I see no reason not to leave the Simply Safe back in, in there, and no reason not to have the additional fire in there too, because that is yeah, we want to, that's the most dangerous thing that could
Yeah.
befall our hut is fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one other note from the HVAC install that I remembered is they mentioned the coolant lines on the south unit are the black coated lines, and they said that those are definitely leakier than like the white ones. I don't
Oh,
really know why
okay.
the color matters, but like I mean, it must just be a different generation or something. But you did mention like those could be replaced
Mm.
on the south unit. I don't know,
Okay.
but
All right.
she was just looking at it like, oh yeah, those are the leakiest kind. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, great.
That was a real good install we had done.
Ugh, gosh.
You
Yeah.
know,
I think they're just older. Like I think the
Yeah.
newer ones are better. Yeah.
okay. I'm wondering though, do we want to invest any more in that south unit, or do we want to, give this new north unit a break-in period and say, yeah, it's working really well. If we want to do something more to the south unit, just replace that and also be done with it.
Yeah, we have sunk so much money into that south unit for repairs. We definitely could have bought an entire unit
Yeah.
since then. So yeah, I'm not inclined to make a special repair. I would say if we have something else going on in the hut or they make a maintenance visit, have them replace them. I think an ounce of prevention here, have them replace them, but I wouldn't pay for a special trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just maybe a next maintenance
Yeah.
note.
Yeah, or if either of them have a problem, next time they're out here,
Yeah, yeah.
have them bring some of the white ones.
Cool.
Um, well, good. Okay, that's all I have for regular list before we talk about routers. Does anybody have anything else? Okay. Um, so um let's see. So, Jim, thank you for sending around your tests. Anything else to add um, from the other household that's running it through its paces? Is it still working well for them? Any complaints?
Not, not since that one failure that we still don't know why it stopped, why the wireless stopped working, but it may have had something to do with a glitch. I don't know, and but I'm willing to, give it the benefit of the doubt, so to speak, and feel that it was something local that had nothing to do with the router. So I'm going to leave it at that. But since then, there have been no complaints. But I'm going to leave it in there for, I don't need that router here for testing. So I'm just going to leave it at 338 and wait for comments to come.
Great. Great. Well, I installed the one that you gave me yesterday, Jim, and did not have any problems with it on with a smartphone. But I think that's really how it's optimized is for
Yeah.
the smartphone. And I agree with Andy's comment about it just taking a long time. Like it's like
Yeah.
waiting and I don't know, maybe I'm just impatient now with this modern thing, but I'm like, you're 3 minutes? I have to sit here for 3 minutes and let it load?
Yeah,
Um,
and it would force the full 3 minutes. Like even if it was already
yes.
booted up, I was
Yeah.
like a little like,
Yeah, like what's what's this about? Um, but you know, yeah, and it did. I would say it took about 25 minutes in total to get it up and running for me, with all of the waiting periods and the you know the logging in.
Did
Um,
that include the firmware for you too?
um, I you know how in the one of the first page prompts when you're setting it up, it said allow Netgear to send you notifications.
Yes.
I said no.
Well,
And
that's okay. I
yeah,
don't know that that's related. Uh,
well,
but
I read it really carefully and it said this allows us to update you about firmware updates. And I'm like, wait a minute. Am I saying that
but
you can do updates? Or are you saying about notifications? And that first screen was really unclear. And
I
so,
know what you mean. I think
yeah.
that my thought was that was they were asking for permissions on the phone. So like if you write an iOS app, there's like a specific API that that Apple gives you for sending notifications. And when you trigger that API from the app, it will throw that dialog up on the screen. And so if you clicked yes, I think that they were going to access that API, and then you get the dialog on screen, like allow notifications. So that's what I thought they meant, but I was maybe reading too much into it as well. Um,
Okay. No, I think
like,
you're right that it was about notifications, although they mentioned firmware because I think they want you to say
because
yes. They,
yeah,
you know.
there was just them being pushy. I didn't, I did say yes, I think, because I just said yes to everything because I
Yeah.
was setting it up. But I didn't get a push notification for that. I saw it in like the upper side here. There was a little firmware update button.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a little like orange icon. Actually, I have the picture of it.
Oh,
Um,
great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for taking the screenshots. I took a handful of them, but not all of them. So that's great.
I just thought like, okay, one utility here is like we might
Yeah.
be making a little handout, and like these are the screens that we could draw red boxes on the handout.
Yeah, and I agree. Like a one pager walkthrough is going to be necessary here for just handing these to people. Also, I'm thinking, um,
Here, I'll
tell
show you.
me
It's
to
it's,
any. Okay,
it's
let's
this
see.
little guy right here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
think.
Hold on. I left my phone in my other room. Let me see if it says that on mine or not.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be right back.
Hmm.
Trying to see if I have the notification ask screen here.
It
No.
asks, it asks, at least when I was setting up the two that were here, one of which, of course, was reset and given to Gail. Uh, it 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 asked about the firmware update in the process of just setting up the router. And on one of my units, it did the update, and the other one it did not. It just said, "Oh, it doesn't need an update." When I knew by looking at the version number that was in that specific router that there was an update, for it. I think it's version 2 point something something something, and so that whole update function was kind of weird, to put it mildly.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds like it's not very consistent. I only
No,
saw it via that little thing on there, and I was like,
yeah.
well, I should try it to make sure it works. And I went to, for me, it got me to 1272 as a version.
Yeah, that sounds like the version that was updated for the one I gave to 338. That one did update, but the unit I gave to Gail, which I was testing here at my place, didn't. It didn't, it looked for updates and said that they weren't necessary. So I don't know what to believe.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I never got any updates. But again, I was using the one from Jim and I do have version 1.2.7.2, which
Mhm.
is the newest version. And if I say
That
check for
appears to be.
updates, yeah. So regardless, I'm saying check for updates, and now it's saying wait 2 minutes while we check for new firmware.
Hmm.
Wait for 2 minutes while we check for firmware. I
Wait,
love the
wait
wait.
2 minutes while I check
Yeah.
my files.
Yeah,
Okay. So it says no new firmware is available at this time. And that makes sense because it's saying that I have the latest 1272.
Even
Okay.
even though you don't have the latest, that's the irony. That's what's so puzzling about this. You don't have the latest because the newer version is 2 point. Well, Andy's got the number right in front of him there, but
No, that's what she said. Same number, 1272.
that's the old version or the one that's in all of those routers. But the new version, the new firmware is 2 point something something something.
Can you show your screen again, Andy, of the?
Yeah, this is what it did for me. I'll show you. So I saw. We'll fly through them again here. This one. So 1272 is the new version.
So you see that,
Oh,
Jim? It says new version available, and that's the version that I have.
huh. Well, then why did the router that's now at 338 Locks Pond Road update to it had that version 1272. I have it in my notes, which are, not in front of me here, but it did update it to 2 point something or other. I don't, well, anyway, it's
Huh.
another one of these weird inconsistencies.
Okay. Uh, yeah, so let's make sure that the new version is 1.272. So Jim, next time you're over there, take a look or
Okay.
have them take a look and see if they
Mhm.
have that most recent one installed so that we have
Mhm.
consistency. I think there's inconsistency during the installation of installing or not installing
Mhm.
the firmware, but I'd be a lot more worried about, are they inconsistent with the versions that they're pushing out?
Well, they are being inconsistent because I can tell you that the version that is in the RS 200 that's at 338, it has firmware version 2. I can get you the exact number. I have it written down,
Okay.
but it's version 2.0, and it upgraded. It took about 3 minutes for it to update, um, but it did update to that version. So that information that you're showing me right now on the screen is inconsistent with what it did with one of the other routers. So who knows
Hmm.
what to believe.
So I was just gonna share the app. Did that work? There it goes.
Yep.
So this is the version. So this is how you check. I was just trying to figure out how to check. So you have to go down to uh, Wi-Fi settings. Oh no, it's not that one.
No,
Oops.
no, not that one.
Left
Just
menu. So the left three dots at the top left corner, and then settings,
Yeah, you can also just click on
and
the
then
image
router
of,
settings.
yeah, you can also just click on the image of the router
Oh,
from that first screen.
okay. Yeah, that's much easier. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay, if
Yeah,
you click, oh, you
there you
just
go.
click right on the router. There we go.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Okay. Just wanted to like confirm that that's what it is. And I did do the check for updates, and it also told me to wait and didn't find
Okay.
anything.
Oh, wow. Well, let me get that number. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, let's see what version 338 shows by just click on the router picture. Interesting. But overall, I
Yeah.
was I was pleased with the whole installation walkthrough. I thought that the web interface did well. The next thing is that I want to reset the whole thing and go through the web interface and make directions for that one. Because I think that we are going to have some people that don't have smartphones. It's only been 24 hours, but I'm really pleased with the performance on this. And it is faster than the Linksys for sure, and more powerful. Where the signal's longer and stronger. I did something that I would love your opinion on of, is this a good practice or not? Where I renamed the SSID Linksys 08820 to match the Linksys and chose the same password so that I didn't have to reset any devices.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would recommend doing.
And is there any risk, danger, bad practice of recommending that to all of the folks that install this?
No, not at all.
Okay. It makes life so much easier when you put in this new router and all of the, devices just work magically without having to reconnect. I think that is kind of key here. To the
Oh, I get what you mean. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, use the same Wi-Fi name, same
Mhm.
password as
Same password.
before,
Everything just
and it
works.
just worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. So
Well,
what
that's
I'm
great.
envisioning, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what I'm envisioning for that is like, well, kind of like a one-page worksheet. Step one, write down your network name, how and its password, and then at the end of the installation, we reference back to that because it's actually pretty hard to get it, like, get it back once um everything else is unplugged. Um, And I do think that the just, the whole installation part is going to be um the hardest part for people. So it's all about process.
Yeah,
And
I was happy that they do give you that 30 days of like their service, whatever. I think we should be clear to people that they don't need this.
yes, don't
Like
buy
we're not,
it.
but
Don't.
but I was pleased they don't make you put in a credit card. So like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
some things are like it wasn't, it did automatically sign you up for the 30 days, which is a little pushy, but I was worried it was going to be pushier, I guess. So
Mhm.
we can see what happens at 30 days. I'm sure they'll give us some sort of notification like enter a card, your network's going to be insecure.
Yeah.
But maybe we can reassure people that it's going to be okay if you don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's up to them, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree that we need to be help them understand that, no, don't buy anything through the Netgear interface um unless you really want that. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it provides. Like, I might want to do a little more research on it before just like saying that I don't think it does anything. Like, I don't really know what it
Hmm.
does. But yeah, I guess I don't know if we'd want to have a recommendation on, not paying Netgear for like some monthly thing. Um, just because I
Yeah,
think
you're
people
right.
will maybe have that question for us. Like, is this going to actually make my network more secure? And I'm not,
Hmm.
yeah, I wasn't sure if, um, yeah, we wanted to be able to say no kind of confidently or as a group. But I think I would need to do a little more research to, understand that.
It seems like
Yeah,
we
so
certainly could say you do not need to do this. You can broadly say that to
yeah.
our
Yeah.
subscribers. Whether we should tell them you shouldn't do it, that's that's a
Yeah,
little
we can
bit.
say something like it's absolutely not necessary,
Yeah.
something like that. Your internet will continue to work like it did before. Yeah, so something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. Right. Did any of you click on parental controls? Because there's a piece of this that I don't love, whereas if you click on parental controls, it says unlock premium. Like, it seems to try to get you to buy smart parental controls. Um, And I want to make sure that you can do all of the parental controls without having to buy something, because I think that's just wrong. Huh. It
It,
looks like
oh,
it looks like it's a
can
paid
you
service.
do it? Well, you can, I clicked add new profile and I'm making some progress.
Okay.
Okay. I've added my phone as kid one.
Okay.
Oh, but then it takes me back to the start trial. So this appears to be a paid only service.
That is really unfortunate.
You
Yeah,
mean,
welcome to premium. I'm on the 30-day trial now. Oh gosh. Okay. Well,
you can't do basic parental controls without paying for something? Is that what you're saying, Gail?
That's what I'm seeing. I'd like this is I didn't even think I just assumed like of course parental controls are not, why would you have to pay for those? So I just learned about it just now.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, this is something we need to look into. Eek.
$8 a month or $28 a year at 60% off.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Probably just
Normally
for the first
$70 a
year.
year. Yeah, sure. Yeah. But $7 a month or $8 a month is what they're, and that's
Seven.
maybe separate from the armor, the Nakir armor security. Hmm. If I like delete my Nakir account, the thing keeps working, I think. Hmm. I wonder.
So the smart
I'm
parental
deleting my,
controls, according to my search here, um, you it's required for website content filtering by category, screen time limits, bedtime schedules, time limits by child or profile. You can get usage reports. And oh, this is neat. Per child profiles that work across multiple devices.
yeah, I created a profile for myself and I added my iPhone to it.
Yeah.
That's what yeah, and I could choose kid, teen, or adult content filtering. Does our existing
Yes,
router have any of that functionality?
it does. It's not um it's definitely not easy to use, and it doesn't have all these fancy features like cumulative time and things. But you can set things like cutting off devices at a certain time. Um, and certain device restrictions. I wonder if we're going to get a lot of blowback from this. Andy, you're the only one who has children, and I realize that they're not really of screen age yet.
They're
Um,
getting there. Yeah,
they're getting there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Do you get a sense that parents utilize parental controls in an electronic way, or is it just shouting?
I I don't know what other people do, but
Mm-hmm.
I would not be looking to my router to manage my children free reign on the internet. I don't want to say something just kind of mean, but like I just think like it's not the right tool for the job in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
I don't plan on using it. I mean maybe I will once they have access to to YouTube or something. But I don't know. My plan is to put a computer in the family visible area, and I am the content filter. They're not going to be in a room with their phone until they're much older. So
Yeah.
our oldest is turning 9 soon for some
Yeah,
context, but
it's getting there. It's getting there. My nephew
he,
just
yeah.
is 12, and 11. He just got his first cell phone. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
certainly if you have a cell phone, I guess in Shutesbury maybe is one of the few places that the network controls work, but otherwise you
Mhm.
just turn off the Wi-Fi, right? You're um off that control. I don't know. I think people use other services too, like apps on the phone and stuff like that to filter.
Yeah, and
Um, I
I bet that almost all of them are paid services anyway.
I imagine that Eero has a thing that I don't pay for to do this as well. There's always an Eero premium, whatever. Eero Plus and content controls. Yes. So,
Yep.
same exact thing, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, protect your family with content controls, $100 a year, $10 a month. So it's even more. I don't know. Maybe I will do something like that eventually. But it's not part of the current plan.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to do some more research about this one, just so we like understand what to tell people of, the features of it seem really good, and I can imagine if it's a paid app, it's well designed and could be useful for the people who want to use it, but the having to pay for it might be something that folks are unhappy with. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of, I guess, a question of like, yeah, is that a service that is effectively kind of provided by Shutesbury Net, right? Like, is
Right.
that one of the core features? And I think sort of the main feature is access, and yeah, goes down from there. But I don't know. I wouldn't view content filtering as something that I wouldn't have in the past viewed it as something that I would expect to get included.
Yeah, it is like no, the technology that created the problem can't solve it. That
Yeah.
phrase that there's offloading that onto the technology, I think is a little dangerous too, of like, well, the router software is protecting my kid. I don't have to worry about it. Like, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they're on TikTok, I don't know that the Netgear is filtering what is a healthy body image TikTok from not, I'm thinking about
Right.
our 5-year-old daughter, like I don't, I think it's foregone at that point. So I don't know. Um, yeah.
All right. Well, I put that on my list to just look in more into the parental controls. What exactly does it do, and how much is it actually? Does it cost after the trial period and after the first year? Um, and what's
It also
its capability? Yeah.
could also consider like what other devices in the market offer here. I mean, at least as one comparison point, Eero is basically the same in terms of like, premium model for content filtering.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them, I have not verified this, but it says ASUS includes robust parental controls for free. Um, TP-Link and Eeros provide just the basics, but then the paid for all the advanced features like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do
Do
some
we,
market. So we'll do some market comparisons here.
do we really
Here,
want to get involved in what to recommend on these features? It seems to me that should be something we should just stay away from. I don't know. Well,
Yeah, I'm not thinking of recommendations, more information and questions
mhm.
of, of uh from any of our residents who use the parental controls, and we say like we're not, you this model has it, but you have to pay for it. Offering just understanding what else is out there for them. I guess what I want to be able to say to people is this is the trend of pretty much all routers out there, that if you want these features, it's just gonna be a paid service.
Mhm.
Um,
Something very general like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and from what I see so far, that's true. All these routers come with basic, but there's an upcharge if you want the fancy parental control features.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where they make their money.
yeah.
But even though I mean, if you're able to install it in 25 minutes or so without any, in other words, it was doable using a smartphone and pretty reasonably straightforward. That's good news, because of course I wasn't using that method to do the installations, but I think there's no denying that the router is at least equal to, if not superior to, the Calyx, and certainly to any of the other routers we've tested. We've tested quite a few too. So um, uh, do you think there's any alternative to this? I don't see one coming down the pike at this late date.
Not if we want to go with the FCC,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
approved ones. This is the best
yeah,
one that we can afford townwide right now.
yeah. I don't think we
So
have any choice if we're
yeah,
going to stick to the FCC approved routers.
yeah. Um, so next steps here. I think we need to just look into the parental controls and some more of the features on this. I want to do some more clicking around, so that I understand the user app that comes with this model. It seems so, just so far pretty user friendly. But I don't want to find any more gotchas in here of hidden paid services or um, anything else that could be a problem for our users. Um, I think I need to have a conversation with Sheld about this is what we're thinking in terms of a pilot program here, and getting an actual price to buy 100 of them, and thinking through distribution with Sheld. What I imagine doing is hiring one of their technicians for a day or two to be delivery, drive around with a van and, deliver this first tranche of routers for the pilot. Um,
So would
so
they just be delivering, or I mean, you arrive at a house, here's your new router, and say, oh, would you install it? Geez, I don't, help me out. Which suddenly, you're not going to get too far. You're not going to do that in 2 days. Do 100 of them.
no, it would just be drop off.
Mm.
They'd be like yeah, because
And do
we
we really need a Shell technician then to do that, or could we?
could be anybody.
Or could we, have it like trash bag pickup thing?
Or at the town hall.
Yeah.
We could do a townwide distribution for this pilot. I the the router box is this big, right? 100 of them. We need a truck to transport them from Sheld to town. Coordination of, time and pickup. We need people to come at this, time period, a system for marking them off that they've been um, picked up. Um, Anyone who picks it up kind of like has to be available on that day. So yeah, we could do a massive pickup day and just having someone, drive around and deliver all of them, I think would be easier than having to plan the logistics of a pickup day.
Hmm. Although, this would be like, I assume a weekday between 9 and 5. So people that are working not going to be home.
Right. But it's like an Amazon delivery. Just drop the router on your door step.
Hmm,
Yeah,
okay.
no one has to be home.
Okay.
Um,
How are we going to keep track of who has these routers and who doesn't? And because if we do distribute more of them after the 100 are used up, then we don't want to have duplicates, so to speak. People picking up one and then putting it on eBay, that kind of thing. I don't know where there.
oh yeah,
A
I'm not
good
worried about
spreadsheet. Gail
about
makes good
I
spreadsheets.
make so many good spreadsheets.
All
Yeah.
right, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Keeping track of all the addresses and who's got what. I think that this would actually be a case for um, more of a database, so that we can keep track of who's gotten it and then collate that with their survey results. Um, as these go out. Um, this is going to be I think at our next meeting, having a big conversation about the process of this. Um, I think it's going to take a full meeting to hash out the details and come up with more questions about this. So let's make that our task for September. Between then and now, we're going to keep learning more about these routers, make sure there's no gotchas, make sure that the performance, stays as good as what we think it is. Investigate um, parental controls, what else is out there, and uh, yeah, and let me check with Sheld about their thoughts on current pricing and distribution.
Maybe
They've
just do a hundred initially.
Well, that's what we talked about the last meeting of running this like a
Yes.
pilot program
Yep.
of just and after we talk a bit about this, we might be like, gosh, 100 is a lot. Like, let's just do 50. Um, and
Uh,
Mhm.
and
What
yeah,
is the pricing roughly on these?
don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, retail, it's I think 150-ish. But that's sometimes it's more when if we buy it through Shelled and they are going to do a 10% markup. I think for a bulk purchase like this, I could ask for less and see, they might be able to get discounts from their suppliers, because it is a bulk purchase.
but
So,
is there a reason for us not to just buy these on our own?
nope, that is a comparison shop. Yeah, the town has a Amazon account. Another thing to look into is having it shipped to all these different addresses.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how messy that would be in terms of orders and all these different charges coming to the
Mm.
town credit card. I don't want to make our accountant's head explode.
And could
With
we
a
know
hundred
if
different
we,
charges.
one other thought, could we check and see if we could buy them directly from Netgear?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Netgear will sell you them directly. It has to be through some sort of a distributor. Netgear's doesn't deal directly with anyone except big distributors, like
Mhm.
Amazon, for example,
Yeah.
or others. So I don't think that's a possibility, but a, a big distributor is another question. I think we could check into that perhaps.
Which one do
Yeah,
we
so
have? The RS 200.
Yeah,
I
what's
mean,
that,
you
Andy?
can buy it. You can buy it directly from Netgear.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's giving me the Cloudflare. Press and hold, verify you're human. But yeah, I got it in my cart at netgear.com.
Mhm.
We could even
Um,
like send them a bid request, see if, for 100, they'd give us a better price.
Yeah, and I know that there's state suppliers. Marianne
Mm,
used them for the library equipment they're like certified vendors that to work with municipalities. So I can ask her too of who she works with. So let me ask Marianne, let me talk to Sheld and what deal they can get and see if we can buy from Netgear directly. They must have, well, see if they have corporate sales at all.
it's
Um,
certainly possible as an individual to buy from
yeah.
Netgear. And they do ship it, so it's $10 to ship. So 240 total. Um, but I mean, the shipping to idea could do it on Netgear as well, potentially. Um,
Yeah, and that would yeah, that would be a lot less expensive than perhaps sending somebody around with a truck delivering them
Well,
and just
maybe that'll cost $1,000, and
yeah.
like the $10 shipping times however many. Yeah.
Yep.
Or, if we could, yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. Or, if they would ship the whole batch to the town, we might, I wonder if there any possibility of storing them in the shed at the school, the trash bag distribution shed at the school. Because I think right now they must have given away most of the trash bags,
Hmm.
and that could even be a pickup point.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna add just add it to the list of things that we need to think about process wise. Pickup, shipping, local delivery.
Do it at the library as well, of course. It's
Yeah.
an option. They have
Yeah.
some storage.
Yeah.
Dale, will you be using up all, let's see, we have 20,000 we've got to spend before December, right? Is it
25.
25? So this is how we're going to spend it, right?
Yep.
I did want to note that I did research a little bit. There are two of the Calyx ones that are approved. Those approvals from the FTC. It might have just come through, but there are two on the
Yeah.
list. Yeah,
We would
just throwing it
love
out there.
to, yeah, we would love to use the Calyx ones.
But
We can't.
Oh, okay.
We can't.
I just heard you mentioned you had tested one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the problem with the Calyx ones is that they're not direct to consumers, that they
Yep.
have to be connected to an ISP. Sounds great. We'd love to. However, you pay uh $3 per subscriber per month to use them because they have proprietary software for something called managed routers, where as the
Yes.
ISP you can see into them and fix passwords
Yeah.
remotely and do some diagnostics. Um, and we have been around and around on this, and way in the beginning we were going to distribute Calyx to everyone, and we did out the math, and it's just not worth it. And we've proved,
Yeah.
and we totally proved the point of if we paid for managed, routers, it would be like $25,000 a year um, to use them for very little benefit. Most of the things can be
Yeah.
solved, just over the phone. And the ones that
At the end of
can't,
the day, that
yeah,
cost would go on the customer's bills, right?
yes,
Like, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and the things that we end up rolling a truck for, you're gonna have to roll a truck for anyway. That one of the big stories of these managed routers sellers is like, oh, you save so much on field calls. No, no, you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea if it was true of that, but helping someone reset a password or something, people can do this. Um, and yeah, once in a while you roll a truck for something that you could have solved remotely for the customer.
Yeah.
But again, it's just not, the payoff isn't there. So that is a
Cool.
long story of why we don't use managed routers. And yeah, and I still think it's the right choice. I don't know. In the future, it might change when devices get maybe more sophisticated or the diagnostics get more, sophisticated and can actually prevent truck rolls and customer headaches, but we just don't see it yet.
Makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Makes me think of one of the things I asked about a long time ago is like, well, why don't we have like a shared public internet? But like that kind of thing would be possible as a managed, maybe. Like you can log into all the routers in town if you're a member, like Xfinity thing. But
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we looked into that too of a kind of like a town-wide mesh network.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't work here.
Yeah.
The houses
Okay.
are too, yeah, the houses are
Oh,
too
well,
spread
yeah.
apart and
Yeah.
and set back. Like you're walking through suburban neighborhood. Yeah, you can play off all these routers that are, 100 feet away, but around here, the kind of mesh neighborhood. So Calix came into this whole presentation, and I was like,
Yeah.
do you understand how far apart the houses are? And they're like, what?
And I have to like walk up to some picture and like me like out on a bike ride, like trying to get a message, walking up to someone's like front door,
Yes.
like,
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, it's an awesome idea and it works great in
Yeah.
tight suburban and urban neighborhoods. They're just not built for out here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about by the lake, of course, but yeah,
Yeah.
which is maybe the one place it would. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. And at the lake, you're right. At the lake, it totally would. Yeah, the houses are close enough that somebody walking around the neighborhood could utilize that, but the rest of Shutesbury, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yep.
Um, all right, so our next meeting is on September 19th. That is the third Wednesday is that true? Nope.
No,
16th.
16th.
16th, I was looking at the wrong month.
I'm not going to be here on that date.
Okay.
I can,
All right.
I can,
we can talk about shifting that date. Because it's the beginning of the semester. I'd like to shift it to the 23rd though, not like the 2nd or the 9th,
Okay,
because of work schedule. How does the 23rd look for you, Steve?
that works for me.
Okay, everyone else good on the 23rd?
yeah. Mhm.
Let's see. I can check really quickly to be
Okay.
extra sure, but I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
23rd of.
September.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, that's not a Wednesday. I mean, yeah, nothing planned that far out.
Great.
So no August meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We're gonna take a little summer break here. And I'm sure that I will send around information and additional documentation to look at as we start thinking about the rollout process here. All right. Well, that was a very productive meeting. We got a lot covered and we discovered lots more questions. So very, very productive. Anything else?
I
Oh,
picked up deleting my Netgear account, so we'll see if it still works after that
Okay.
goes through.
All right.
Said it'll take them up to 7 days, but yeah,
Right.
should still work. Yeah.
Mhm.
there was a service problem on Leverett Road that you and I were both contacted about yesterday, and you took care of the problem.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I
Yeah.
made a house call yesterday or whatever day it was.
I
Oh.
heard from from the property owner, a subscriber who said to thank Gail for the service. So
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I normally don't do it, but I found out that they had no phone service and they couldn't call out. And so I was running errands in Amherst and I'm just it's on the way. I'm just gonna stop. And then um yeah, and we got it sorted out, got their router set up again and on their way, so they should be all set.
What was
Yeah,
wrong?
Um I don't know what happened. The homeowner reset their router, like did a hard reset, and then didn't know how to
Oh,
set. And
yeah,
yeah, and then everything went awry.
haywire. Yeah,
because
okay.
it seemed like from the picture, it sounded like the trouble was the ONT.
I think that it was the ONT originally because they lost the phone service, and then to fix it, they tried to unplug stuff and plug it in, which is the right thing to do. But then when that didn't fix it, either they didn't wait long enough for things to come back online, and then they reset the router, and then it was game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I did when I got um anyway, yeah, it's
Good.
it's fixed. They're okay. And
Good.
um yeah, network is back up.
Cool.
Um All right. Well, thanks for staying a little. We went a little bit over this meeting, but again, we have a nice big project ahead of us of replacing these routers, so it's going to be good.
Well, have a great time in Iceland.
Thank you, and thank you all for stepping up and filling in while I'm so out of touch. It's going to be great.
Yeah, you will
Nice.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Yep.
Starlink phone. Yeah,
No,
good.
nope, no. I bought a paper map. Um, for yeah. I'm gonna bring it.
Glad to hear they exist. Yeah.
Yep. A paper map and well a compass. I'll have to redo my map and compass skills, but mostly we'll be sticking to the roads. It's not like I'm not like walking across Iceland. We'll go on some little hikes. That's it. Although
I
wouldn't that
hope
be
it's a
neat?
waterproof paper map.
It is. It's a very
Yes,
nice National
I would highly
Geographic
recommend that.
waterproof map. Yep.
Yeah, I would highly
Yeah.
recommend it be
Yeah.
waterproof in Iceland. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if anyone's done that. Like, I'm sure they have of like walked across, um, or like walked the coastline. That would be an amazing trip.
Well,
But
the coastline trip is quite something from what I understand. I've seen some documentaries on what it's like to drive around Iceland from, make a complete circle, and it's all of these different sites that one sees and gets on the way around the island. It's quite something.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to make it all the way around. I'm, the trip is only 10 days. And
Hmm.
in retrospect, I'm like, oh, I should have gone for 2 weeks, but it's just like with my work in the beginning of the semester, it's a really terrible time to be away, but I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah,
And so 10 days is all I can really do. So anyway, I'll come back with pictures and stories.
right.
that'll be great.
All right, thanks so much, guys. And I'll send around emails when I have more information.
Will do.
All right,
All
take
right.
care. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.